everything's alright. For a little while, was in the store of my life. I'm gonna wipe that smile.
We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers, because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs. You are.
All right. I hope you Patriots out there kicking ass, taking names. Welcome to the party, folks. ThePatriotPartyNews.com. I am your host, Chaz Carter, better known as Underground Patriot, coming in live from the Wolf Den, folks. So it wouldn't be fitting. We've got some breaking news coming in to some degree from what we're understanding. We're getting details by the second. We just came across some of this stuff. Or here very, very recently, we've been trying to figure out the connection with what's happened at the Queen's, the fake Queen's funeral. And don't you worry, you might want to share this out, because I think everyone's going to be in for a rude awakening on this. I know a lot of you have been keeping up with the funeral comms and things. We were doing that this morning as well, just like everybody, looking, searching, trying to get the connection with Broken Arrow. We were even looking at the formations of the funeral procession. It actually looked like a arrow. And I think a lot of what we were waiting to happen has potentially happened behind the scenes, and we will touch on that. Oh, yeah. Hey, don't say anything, but it's Dallas's birthday today. And we need to wish this cat a huge, huge, happy birthday. But before we get started with that, this is where the cool cats go to get their daily intel, news, and bread. That's right, thepatriotpartynews.com. But folks, we're more than just a website. We're a full-functioning, badassery Patriot Broadcasting Network, broadcasting around the world 24/7. Also, folks, I'm going to highly recommend, after some of this breaking news stuff, that you want to sign up with the quickness, like right now, on the #1 pro-patriot social media platform, so you're not left in the dark. You can sign up now for free. It's called patriotshoot.com. It's censorship free. Come on in there. We're also going to be having some of this intel on Talk Time. As Dallas is getting this in, because I got to give props to him, because it's his birthday on top of that as well. But he's been really digging, just like so many of you guys have been as well. Also, folks, not to mention, not just PPN News here. We got the original Mark Z, the Charlie Ward Show, Amelia Love Show, Nick V. We've got Mike Penny and his team. We got a new channel that's going to be broadcasting, John Baxter Live. We have Truth by WDR, Ultra Truck Destroyer. Love it. Makes me feel strong. And, of course, you got Quantum Warrior with Susan Price. That's going to be coming up towards the end of this month. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in the man himself. Today is Dallas's birthday.
What's up, Chaz?
Happy birthday to you. Okay, see, I'm not Mark Z.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know Mark Z was on.
Pro love, man. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, Dallas. That's how we do it over here.
Amen. Thank you.
Chats are lighting up.
Yeah.
Amen. Absolutely. I tell you what, we're so happy to have Dallas over here. He has been such a staple and an asset here at PPN. We just want to tell you thank you for everything that you do. And we do not take it lightly, taking time away from your career, your family, more importantly, and doing it for all the right reasons. And you volunteer your time, man, day in and day out. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
I'm just ready to see this thing through the end.
I need you to go right to it. All right. So we're not keeping everyone lingering here. It's pretty awesome what you found out, and I don't know if you've had time to post it. Did you send it to me on email? How did you do it?
I put it in the chat thing that you sent me.
Gotcha.
There's two. There's one Twitter that's interesting. Kind of a BBC botch on the funeral procession this morning, talking about the Queen being in lying in wait for the last 4 years.
Oh, that's what you did.
But more importantly, I got bombarded right before the show started about Chinese vehicles being seen driving into Ukraine from Russia. And it kind of broke over the weekend, but there's China and Russia are, solidifying their digital currencies and their trade agreements. Is this the World War III scare that people are talking about? Man, I don't know, but it sure seemed very interesting. This is the botch by the reporter on the Queen. Saying that she's been lying in state for the last 4 years, not the last week, which is what we were reported, but very, very, very interesting. I think the Ukraine thing,
Ukraine with Russia.
Yeah.
So something had to happen behind the scenes, Dallas, that is very hidden. As soon as this has happened, all of a sudden this is taking place. Is that correct? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, yeah. I sent a text to the group this morning because I didn't think about it until you sent me something last night. But I woke up early and I watched a large portion of the proceedings, early this morning in between like 5 and 8 p.m. Our time, which was mid-morning their time, but like midday afternoon their time. But I was like, is it just me or did nothing happen? You know what I mean? But I also we have to remember that we're being presented a movie, right? And they're not going to, until the EBS or the EAS or whatever that mechanism is, we're not going to get told the truth until it's time. But they're slip ups, they're Freudian slips, there are purposeful slips, there are codes and stuff. And somebody was saying in the chat earlier that somebody broke off an arrow and put it on top of the casket, which is what we've been kind of alluding to since last week, right? Is the bowman kind of collapsing and the arrows and stuff that and you kind of talked about the casket being lead lined, and it just seems odd to me that they would I don't know. It just seems weird that you would traipse around a dead body in a casket for weeks, for many, many, many days. But this is talking about China and Ukraine and Russia.
This happened right when the funeral started. It's tied. There's no question. This is tied some way. There's a connection with what's happened behind the scenes.
She was lowered into the ground at 4:49, which is on all of the Q post clocks and all that stuff.
Right.
And then all this stuff came out right after it. And they're already scrubbing the internet. I mean, there are TikTok videos and link videos that, you watch one time and you go to send it and it's done. It's gone.
Right. Wow. It's crazy. Crazy.
But things are ramping up, man.
Oh, I love it. So this was on Real American's Voice here. prep. This is a video. Let's play it. Let's see what's up with
The
this.
former president's trip home to his Florida estate comes as a special master is on the job reviewing the documents seized at Mar-a-Lago. Raymond Deary is moving full speed ahead as he is reportedly scheduled to hold a first hearing tomorrow. According to a court filing from last week, lawyers are being asked to submit agenda items for that hearing by close of business today. In the meantime, the Justice Department is appealing part of the special master process and asking that nearly 100 documents marked classified not be submitted as part of the special master's vetting process.
You got that going on. Then you got this. Error in census gives Democrats a major edge in election. Telling you, man. Telling they're going to do everything they can. The U.S. Census Bureau admitted it overcounted and undercounted population of 14 states during the 2020 constitutionally required, what's this, the Senate Court? The Senate Court?
Count, yeah.
Count, excuse me.
I don't know what that word is, but
I would say that's a trick word. That's a 50 cents word. The federal agency's report indicates that overcounts occurred in Democratic-dominated states, while population undercounts affected Republican-dominated states. Tell us something we don't know.
yeah, isn't it interesting how it always goes one way, and I mean, it always goes the same way. Like you never hear that where it's like, oh, we screwed up and added, hundreds of thousands of counts for the Republicans. It's always we overcounted on the Democrats and undercounted on the Republicans.
All right.
But
Absolutely.
There's nothing to see here, folks.
All right. Philly drag queen Valencia Prime 25 collapses and dies while on stage.
100% vaxxed and boosted.
Yep. Plane makes emergency landing on Virginia Highway.
I saw a live footage of this. It was nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably
The broken arrow is commonly referred to as code for a missing nuke. Lots of people are asking, like, what does broken arrow mean?
Well, that movie too, with John Travolta and Howie Long. Howie Long was a hell of a football player. He was in that movie. I like Howie.
Heck yeah. And Christian Slater, yeah, but broken arrow is code for a missing nuke.
Hey, Warren just sent me something. The ceremony ended at 4:58 p.m. You had 4 + 5 + 8 = 17.
Yep.
Can't make this up, folks. So we're going to be working. We're going to have 107 on. I'm waiting, I guess, to see what his availability. He said he wanted to come on, and I think we're excited about having him on. See what's going on in that neck of the woods with him. And he's also going to be at our event on October 25th in Nashville. And we have confirmed Derek Johnson will be there as well. So I just want everybody to know that. And we'll let everyone know how to get tickets and things. We'll make an announcement on that.
I'm being told that it was Diana's brother that broke the arrow off and put it on her casket.
Wow. Denver to dole out $12,000 in free phones to homeless, trans, and non-binary people. Women who claim she's Rothschild reveals how she infiltrated Mar-a-Lago after photo with Trump. Graham goes viral. Ukrainian woman photographed with President Trump and socialites at Mar-a-Lago denied allegations she was a Russian spy or criminal. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't see how that happens. I mean, obviously he in his first run, his first cabinet or I can't, for some reason, I got a year older and I got dumber, but I can't think of what that's called when the president's in office. But he allowed certain people to be around him, and I think honestly, I think he took some bad advice, but I just find that incredibly hard to believe that would be allowed to happen.
See, Warren chiming in on the chat. In that Mel Gibson movie, he was in charge. The enemy had to do it. Yeah. Radio, broken arrow. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Obama, Martha's Vineyard slept silent on opening up island homes to illegal immigrants. No.
Yep. It's a sanctuary city until they show up. And then suddenly it's the tightest lockdown city and gated and fenced city in the world.
Disney World enthusiasts say theme park has lost its magic. You mean black magic?
Yeah. Well, when you figure out what's going on underneath it, it's
yeah,
never
it was never any magic to begin with.
Yeah, you can't unsee and unhear and unlearn those things. It's definitely changed for me. I mean, it's hard. I got 2 little girls that love princesses and all that stuff, and I can't tell them, but I definitely don't encourage it.
It's a pedo world after all. Unvaccinated Air Force officers grounded despite court order. This is coming from former Space Force Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, I mean, it's astounding to me how there's precedent, there's court orders, there's decisions made, but then everybody kind of gets to do whatever they want, even in our military. Like there's a reckoning coming, and they'll be grounded until there's nobody else to fly, and then they'll be like, "Oh, can you fly?" And then they should all give them the big double middle finger, Like,
oh, absolutely. I mean, freaking percent, 100% on that. AOC responds to illegal immigration crisis. We have more than enough to care for everyone.
Okay, that's the next bus load and the next plane load from Texas and Florida. She go to her multi-million-dollar apartment in Washington, D.C. that she bought within her first 3 months of being in Congress, and let's let her put her home where her mouth is.
I think so. I agree. GOP Senator DeSantis Abbott trying to send a message about the border crisis to the rest of the country. Of course, he did.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not trying. They are.
Mm-hmm. And it ain't over either, by the way. It's going to keep on, and they're trying to do everything to stop it. Dangerous typhoon. What's this? Nanamol?
Sure.
Slams into Japan.
I would say it's probably a silent N. So like Namadol.
Namadol? Okay.
Who knows? It's kind of like damn, DAMN.
That's kind of crazy. Power out in Puerto Rico, catastrophic damage in several areas from Fiona.
Yeah, Mark Z talked about it. His son and his mom. And
how are they doing, by the way? I didn't get to see his show.
He said that they're good. I mean, they're safe. Just
good. Well, we're praying for them.
Yeah, but hopefully the airports will open back up tomorrow or the next day, I think.
Oh, did you see this craziness? Did you see this?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I just wish I had more context to what we're like. Man, the guy just destroys the whole sitting area with an axe.
There's a live video, but yeah, did he get into it with somebody? And then he stepped back, opened up his bag, and took out a freaking tomahawk.
Yep.
And started going through, busting up the place, breaking tables, people up against a wall, scared for their life, about to get their arms and legs chopped off.
What's crazy to me is that they all just sit there,
right.
I'm a tough dude, but if you pull out an axe, I'm gonna probably back up a little bit, until I can get my gun, and then I'll just shoot you from a distance. But
absolutely
crazy. New York for you.
So I thought that was in New York, but I was unsure. So it was in New York, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. New York.
Coming to a town in Illinois is close to you or near you soon.
That's crazy. Let's see if I can get here. Power cuts to plunge South Africa into darkness, coming to America next. You ain't figured this out yet? It's all a movie. It's all part of the show, folks. Don't think that's related to solar flare. Yeah, that too. Radiation. Because it's not. It's all manufactured, put together. Oh, isn't it odd that Mike Judas Pence is the only person in Trump's orbit who hasn't been investigated? Why is that? Ooh. Inquiring minds want to know on that, D.
That does beg some interesting questions.
So I think Warren's going to be jumping on with us.
Heck yeah.
Probably got some breaking news. Warren, if you're watching, I sent you the link. Hopefully he'll be getting on. Let me grab some other stuff. So thank you. Here is no, Amy just brought this in. Oh, yeah. Check this out. House and Senate panels started this week to consider changes to the 135-year-old Electoral Count Act. So let's see here. I don't know if it's probably just a video, but that's what they're saying. Let's see here. Guess who's putting the panel together? Take a guess. That's what it looks like.
Democrat.
Mm-hmm. They want to change it so they can manipulate the election again.
Oh yeah. I mean, the only thing that even keeps it even remotely out there is the Electoral College, because like LA County, right? I mean, LA County has more residents in LA County than like 5 states in the United States combined as far as population goes. So one county in California has more electoral power than five whole states, right? And that's the reasoning and the rationale behind the Electoral College is all about, is that if not, then you have, really California and New York dictate every election from now on, right? Because there are more people that live in those states, well, theoretically before, than 2/3 of the rest of the United States. And
there you go. So what's your overall, this is pretty serious with China and Ukraine. I mean, this is what really, it seems like they're starting to form an alliance. And that's similar to what we were talking about, because they both dislike I should say the United States, but the United States government, the crooked United States government. Did I say that out loud? I think I did. Me, this guy. I did. And don't take it out on Dallas. It's his birthday.
I'll say it too. They all need to go. But yeah, I mean, we've known this for a while. I mean, the whole BRICS nation thing, I mean, it ties them all together. It's tied them together from the beginning. But I don't know if you want to say the white hats, the black, whoever, but the whole reset, the Great Reset, which we learned didn't come from Klaus Schwab. It came directly from, the now sort of pronounced King Charles III. But
you think he's going to be the first arrest? I mean, obviously that's what Charlie's personal opinion. He said, I don't have no. He said he's going on his instincts and personal opinion.
It makes a ton of sense, because, and to be honest with you, it actually makes more sense than, because who do you pick in the United States, right? I mean, thank you, all for the birthday wishes, but is it Obama? Is it Hillary? Is it Fauci? Is it, there's so many in the United States. that I don't think any of them really would be as globally recognizable and impactful as the new king, right? I mean, because his face is plastered everywhere now.
Right.
So it actually makes, but then again, that's where it all started to begin with, right? I've been watching all kinds of things about, how after the War of Independence, I mean, we just signed ourselves back over to the crown, and we've been debt slaves to the crown ever since as the U.S. corporation, the United States incorporation, and it's why not start with the head, because they are the top, the royal family is the top, and then followed very, very closely, if not equally, with the Vatican and the church, followed by the DC area. So the three city states. But
hang on 1 second. I want to see if I can integrate talk time real quick. Hang on. This will be kind of interesting if I can pull this off. Let's see here. Bear with me. You good, Dallas?
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Somebody pops up. Try to get it back in there. Man. They'll pop in here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, over the weekend in Talk Time, I know we talked a lot about the flag at the Trump rally that had the blacked out stars or the dark blue stars. And that basically meant, no retreat, no surrender, no quarter. So we're not quitting, we're not giving up, and we're not gonna show mercy. So hopefully I like that definition.
Hey, is Warren in Talk Time?
No, he left.
Okay, thanks.
He was here, but he left, yeah.
Thank you. All right. That's how we do it, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, I always listen. Hey, Warren, I sent you the link. I emailed you. Because he sent me a text, so I was trying to get him on. So anyway, sorry about that. Trying to make some things happen. A lot.
But they've been together, so
teachers too. They're firing a bunch of teachers right now in New York City, all over the place. It's a lot of because they won't do the vaccine mandate. You still believe they have that? Seriously?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Chaz. That's the moronicy of the mandate to begin with, right? It was never a law. It was never anything that could be enforced, but yet it was presented as law. If you don't do it, you're going to go to jail. You're going to get arrested. You're going to get fined. I talked all the time in the airports. It is federal law that you wear your mask. No, it never was, never has been, never will be a thing. But that's how they present it. And, they change the rules. They change the law. The CDC totally retracts everything, but then they still, it doesn't matter. They just do whatever they want to do.
Happy birthday.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
We set out a search party for you, buddy.
Sorry, man. I was having little issues.
I'm with you. What's
I
going on?
I didn't sleep much. I was watching that chick get buried.
That old lady?
Yeah, that old freaking lizard thing. How's everything going? It's kind of getting kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, we're talking about Chinese vehicles traveling into Ukraine from Russia. So they're coming through Russia. They're not coming from some other part of the country, but and how the optics of that, we thought they were going to invade Taiwan. Taiwan's already done. They're partnering up with Putin and Russia to finish. I heard today that they've verified 49 bio labs in Ukraine.
Wow. Gotcha. Well, last night Juan was blowing my phone up and I loved every minute of it. And Charlie was doing the same. And I was like, okay, this is getting crazy. Because they text me, sometimes but they never both at the same time just start texting me like crazy. And one big thing they were talking about was the stars on the flag, that black flag there. And y'all probably talked about it. I don't know.
Well, I just did. I mean, what I was kind of the definition that I heard, that it was no retreat, no surrender, and no quarter. So we're not quitting, we're not giving up, and there will be no mercy for those that oppose us. Is that what you're hearing?
Well, one of them that was sent to me was, there were no stars on the flag last night as President Trump entered and exited the stage. For those who don't know what an American flag without stars means, you have to ask someone who's been in the military. The simple answer is surrender. American flag without the stars tells your enemy that further aggression on their part will mean total annihilation, complete destruction, or obliteration. If you're the enemy, you choose to surrender. And if you are the enemy and you choose to surrender, you will be treated well. President Trump was sending deep state a message. 50 stars. There are 50 stars representing the 50 states, and there are 13 stripes representing the original colonies. Now, I'm not sure if that was from Charlie or Juan, but then one of them sent me. Oh, by the way, well, let me read this first. One of them sent me back to QPost 2539. The public is about to learn that the DOJ, FBI, and other U.S. foreign assets have been actively working behind the scenes in one of the largest criminal investigations in modern history. D-class, greater than purpose, greater than Illuminati, the truth, greater than people in a red box. Transparency is the only way forward in a box. Controlled media, enemy of the people. Q. And then another one that was sent is, as a communication specialist in the Marines, the flag was taught to us it means no deals. If the enemy is captured after it is flown, death is the only condition. So if you want to live, surrender now. So if the flag was at the rally last night, the enemies had until the end of the rally to surrender. Trump actually told us that the FBI was not a legitimate organization. Now, then you go back to, let's say, Mel Gibson. When Mel Gibson was in that movie, and I can't remember the name of it, he was the commanding officer, and he was out in the field.
We Are Soldiers.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, he had enemy coming at from all directions, and the only thing he could do is look in every direction and say, "Broken arrow," and that means I need the big dogs to come in and kill all these sons of bitches. And that's what the freaking heck is fixing to happen. So they had, in my opinion, they had the chance to surrender. They've had the chance to surrender for a long time. They had until the end of his thing the other night. And sorry, you did not do it. You shall probably die. Just my opinion. Reading between the lines.
And I'm cool with that. Happy birthday, JDTBJ99. No, I'm perfectly okay with that. I mean, I think I would hope over the next 2 to 3 days we just hear about just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people that mysteriously just die of a hole in the head. Like, pretty sure they had COVID. It's dropped dead in the middle of the street.
Right. I'm hearing that President Trump is going to be talking to John Voight about the role his administration played in forming the historic Abraham Records peace agreement. I don't know exactly what's going on there, as far as, is that talking about all the peace with the symbolism that we saw, back when a lot of people woke up watching the fall of the cabal. And if anybody is watching this and you have not seen the fall of the cabal, just start out watching that. Just roll with that.
And we have that in the Q17 room, or go look it up on the internet, but we've got it all on patriotshoot.com. So
yeah, there's like 27 of them or 28 of them now, but I mean, you can pretty much start anywhere. But,
yeah.
if you want to just get the gist, watch the first 4 or 5, or the first 10 for sure, but the first 4 or 5 pretty much have it all in there.
Somebody
Saying
said
that was on
news.
Newsmax last night.
What was?
I think they're saying the fall of Cabal.
Dang, here it comes. Lord have mercy. Now, I'm still hearing a lot of stuff about Romania. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't understand it, but stuff is getting cray in a good way. But we know it. We know it's coming. It's okay. Still, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable as I can be. And are y'all? I hope y'all are the same. Of course, I want it to happen right now, just like everyone is. But it's happening, and we're okay, and we were right. And I'm not really a big salesman, dude. I'll tell you if something works for me here, try this or whatever. But I'm all over talk time and people learning what's going on. And we need, one of my motives was to find a place for people to come in and us have a head start on someone like, is Facebook going to start, having this stuff? Well, no, I think they're going to be gone. So that was one of my reasons for saying, Chaz, we need our own freaking Facebook, and here, do this. And this freaking dude did it. And so if you got somebody that's, if you don't do it, get on Patriot Shoot, whatever, but if you are trying to wake somebody up, that's probably where you'll get a lot of really good information, because whoever, I don't even know who's doing everything, Chaz. If Chaz takes care of making all those rooms with the cabal and with the medical room and all that stuff, but it's just like my notes. It's just like my notes. So I think that's a good place to start. Whatever everybody's doing, I am trying to wake people up by healing them, not healing them, getting their bodies into a position where they can heal themselves. And that's something that needs to happen. I think that I've quit messing up and trying to wake people up. And finally, I just said, I'm just going to get off of that and get people to quit hurting. And it's working for me. If anybody needs a way to wake somebody up, get off of the trivia and help them some way. And they might listen to you, or at least entertain something. But really, they're fixing to be woken up here pretty soon. There's fixing to be an event.
So, of course, you've already seen the video of ET, right? With Space Force satellite.
Oh yeah.
No, that you put up last night.
Yeah, it's incredible. So, one of Elon's satellites supposedly picked up, and it shows an alien vessel flying right by it. And then we heard the day before they said thousands, believe it or not, of his satellites were destroyed supposedly by this solar storm flare, whatever. And it cost them I don't know, 20 billion, something nuts in terms of what it cost them to replace the satellites. Because supposedly that's what's being said behind the scenes, and it's out in public. You can go look it up on the internet. I mean, it's all part of the noise, part of the show. But it's amazing how this is really starting to ramp up, especially for us that have been following it for a good little while. Maybe not for those that are kind of sitting back and wondering what's going on. I don't really see it. It takes, I think it's much time just to understand the signs, the symbols, symbolism, so to speak. I got a question for you. So what is the connection with the yellow dragon flag that was draped on the fake queen's coffin in reference to maybe the yellow dragons in China or the elders, if I'm not mistaken? Is there a connection there at all with the flag and the yellow dragons that was on the queen's coffin?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about the Chinese elders, then has there always been a big part? Well, they're connected somehow, or have been connected, I'm assuming. And for all of this stuff to come out that we are ready to come out, that we're wanting, so that we can do good stuff for folks, they have to sign off. And my I'm hearing that they have signed off, and I'm hearing that money has moved.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I know that the royal family has a crest, which I believe has a dragon or a griffin or some kind of flying thing on it. It kept striking me that the flag was wrinkled, and we've heard over and over and over again that means, traitor and it's not a good sign, right? But every time I saw the casket with the flag on it, you could see creases and wrinkles in the flag, and those are probably more powerful comms than anything else. But I've heard money is moving up to 1%. Bondholders were made liquid over the weekend. I'm still waiting to get a final confirmation of those things, but just got to keep moving forward one day at a time. It's like it's like AA. Life is like AA, one day at a time, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were. I mean, think of everything that the Queen had. She, that family. You've got London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia. So anything that goes there, all our taxes, everyone's taxes, they've gone in and pillaged, everyone's natural resources. We haven't bombed them because they've got assassins coming to hurt us and stuff. We've done it so that we can take over their stuff, tank their food, get them to grow our drugs, and make bioweapons in certain areas. If people didn't know this, and if Trump probably didn't come out and tell us, they would possibly think we're all like the people we have supposedly elected, which we haven't elected. They've been placed in there for a long time, but we are nasty. Not us, but the people that represent us have been freaking nasty, McStinky, and I'm glad it's worked out like this. It's kind of like, man, we deserve everything we get for letting it happen in some cases. Now I don't want anything to happen. It's kind of the same situation. If I have a bad day and something is going wrong, I can say, man, there's 10 people in the hospital freaking begging and praying that they live through the night. I need to just quit whining about something. I need to quit whining about all this stuff going on and say, Lord, I'm glad it's working out this way, instead of us really freaking get all killed. I mean, it's a better scenario. We have been let off good. Trump said he's going to do that. We've had some trivia that's gotten on our nerves, and we got these children we got to take care of, and that's some bad stuff. But it's been done to us along with everybody else in the world. So I don't know. I think we're in pretty good shape. Just my opinion. You know how opinions are, though.
So what do you suspect happening today with everything? From the Queen, and this is not fact, what's your personal respective opinions, educated guess, per se?
Man, I don't know. Let me look it up. I'll tell you. I got some notes that tell me what I've been thinking and stuff, but I don't know. I might get back to you on that.
Okay.
I've been up too long. But I was up this morning I don't know that I went to bed, And finally 5 o'clock, I was like, I can't handle it anymore. Laid it down. Actually, I was listening to Talk Time while I was in bed, and somebody said something, and it woke me up. And I was like, oh, no.
Man, there's people that listen to put on their bedside table with their phone listening to Talk Time, and they fall asleep. And you hear some of them snoring, and if you got to yell to wake somebody up, to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I can't cut her off because I want to hear. I'm afraid I'll miss anything, And it's just a 24/7 chat going nonstop, especially right now. It's amazing because everyone's
a week or so ago, I think I was sleep truthing. Because at one point, I think I realized that I was asleep, but I was still talking. And I was like, I don't know what I just said. I'm pretty sure it didn't make any sense. I'm going to go to bed, guys.
Right. Well, I mean, it might sound crazy, but I would not. We got the final marker happening. I've always felt like, and I think we've been told that the Queen was the final marker. And here we go. And what that did is that took out I mean, everything. You see that BRICS is going up and NATO is having a really, really big problem. Who's fixing to come back? Are they really alive or are they dead like we thought? Well, it'd be a prime time for Diana to come and say, what up, you people? The y'all people are freaking crazy, and tell the world that that's what's going on. I think right now would be a great time for something with China and Taiwan and those people to happen. I can see us getting into it to wake the people up, and I can see a nuclear standoff. I could see a nuclear scare event. Man, I can see impeachment of Biden. Black Swan event. I can see Bitcoin going straight to hell in a handbag. Lord have mercy. Everything that we've been talking about forever. I can see the Gordon's dams having a really bad day here pretty soon.
Hey, what's y'all's thoughts on Washington D.C. calling the masses? There may, I don't know what exactly is going on, but somebody from Washington D.C. is calling a bunch of folks, and then they hang up. It says Washington D.C. on their phone. It's like a marketing call. You know those where you'll get a phone call or it goes right in your voicemail.
Yeah, but
it's not leaving messages. I don't know if they're testing out something, which seems like they are. And I've heard it. I've heard it from 7 different people thus far. I've already seen it 3 times in the chat, not counting the ones beforehand.
They don't try to talk to you, huh?
Mm-mm.
If they try to talk to you, ask them what color panties they got on if it's a dude. That's what I do. Sorry.
Oh, you're funny.
I agree with Warren. I just think everything is ramping up. It tends to go in waves, and Trump has been posting that red wave, over and over and over. You can't stop what's coming, and that tsunami that we reference a lot, and just that overwhelming amount of knowledge and information and disclosure. I think it's all ramping up to have a huge drop, and I just I think the rest of this month going into October, everybody seems to be kind of lining up on the same trajectory as far as what everybody's hearing in and outside of the RV and the Great Awakening. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much all kind of going in the same direction. So I'm just excited. It's it's my birthday, which is not normally a big deal. It's not something I've celebrated most of my life, but I gotta be honest. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about today into tomorrow, and I think we have some good news coming. And it's a good day to be alive. Every day is a good day.
Right. In a broad sense, I think everything that we've been looking at is right on. I'm looking. Are we having 3 days of enlightenment coming up right now? Are we? Because we always knew it was going to be, or heard it was going to be 3 days of enlightenment and then 7 days of darkness or 10 days of darkness. Back 3 years ago, somebody was talking about 5 days of darkness and 3 days of this. It's been 3 different things coming from Q and coming from different forces. And I'm sticking with the 3 days and then of enlightenment. Then I think that starts now or just right now. I think the stars are aligned for that to happen, whatever that means, and I'm looking for 10 days of a movie or a documentary type thing coming out where they tell the masses what's been going on. I don't know if that will happen generically with just certain movies that come out. I don't understand exactly. I'm gonna have to see the curtains pulled. And now we know that they decided there's going to be 17 days of mourning instead of the normal 10. Am I right in saying that when something like this happens?
That's what Charles said.
Okay, but it's always been 10, and 17 just came out of the wild blue yonder, didn't it?
Yeah, that lands on this Saturday, the 24th, which is just popping up everywhere. So,
all right. So,
what was the date when it ended? You said it equals 17. You texted me earlier. What was that?
I did.
Yeah, you text
No,
me.
let me see here.
You said the
You
4 plus
said
5
the
plus 8. Yeah, the
yeah,
ended at 4.
the timing of the funeral when it was finally finished.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, was that 4:49 or 4:40?
4:58
Okay,
p.m.
so
You say
some people
5.
have said 4:58, and some people have said 4:49, and I don't know, of course, which one it is.
Well,
And
I heard that she was put into the ground at 4:48, which coincided with a bunch of the watches, the clocks on the Q posts.
yeah,
And then, if it ended, if the actual ceremony ended, like once they put you in the ground, it's pretty much done, right? So I don't know if it ended 10 minutes later, that equals 17 or what, but.
gotcha. This weekend we were in talk time. We were really talking about a lot of different things. We were doing gematria on 131, and I don't even remember where all these things came from, but numbers that came up. We were doing it on 8, 9, so 98 if you mirror it or reverse it, whatever you do. I'm not the big one to do those D classes and stuff. The Eagle has landed. There was a lot coming out about that. When I say those things, does that talk about the speech? Because I was not able to watch the speech. First one I've missed in a minute. I was like, God, I just had to.
Well, I know on Fox News they had Sharon Osbourne and had Piers Morgan on there, and it didn't even look like Sharon Osbourne, number one. Number two, she kept on saying, she said it twice, 17 lies. 17 lies. You heard it twice. She said 17 twice. And I just thought that was mighty, mighty interesting. And this is something else is interesting, too. This is another person that's in the Rumble rant. Says, I got a call this morning from D.C. at 9:53 a.m., which equals 17. That's interesting.
Right. Hey, by the way, it was the thing on last night or whenever it was not Fall of the Cabal. It was the thing with John Voight, supposedly.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I messed up there. And then with the weather we had, doesn't it look like that all the domes were being freaking. I was talking to Derek Johnson last night for a good bit about a few things, and he was talking about being in New Orleans not too long ago, and that he was right there. He felt it, and he said, people were kind of looking around, tripping, and he knew exactly what it was. He said, that's a bomb up under there, and that's what they're doing. They're taking out the remainder of these domes, but it looks to me like all of a sudden it ramped out. Dallas, it might have been you. I don't know if it was you in Talk Time the other day or maybe on here, I don't know, that was talking about all the different 3 hour, like 4.4 magnitude in Japan, 5.0 magnitude in Japan, and it always says 10 kilometers depth. And we know if it's up towards the top, that it's not it's not way down deep. I don't even know if there is a real freaking earthquake. They were talking about tsunamis. There's big tsunami talks.
Don't forget about Taiwan. It just happened at 6.2 in the Richter scale. You see all gymnasiums and all kinds of stuff. Video coming out of Taiwan where it's falling down.
Yeah, you sent me that the other day.
Yeah, like the men and women screaming and yeah. I mean, it's
crazy.
It just seems a list of 100 of them right here that were just the last 2 days.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts about the possible Bank of America bankruptcy?
Well, so we know that's happening. That Dallas might be better to talk about anything with banking. He's been following that a lot more than I have.
Yeah, I mean, I heard 2 weeks ago that all the banks had filed for bankruptcy. We're hearing, again, some of it, you got to go in and just ask, but I go in once a week or so and just ask about the new currency and, the new U.S. note and stuff like that. But, I'm hearing that banks haven't received any new money since, Tuesday of last week from the reserve. The reserve is completely dead and done and out of money. And, it's forcing, it finally has come to that point where we're forcing the changeover, not the Great Reset, but the Great Awakening. The market was down again this morning. I mean, it's making little weird bounces, but the market can't sustain what's happening. I think the next couple of days are going to be telling, one way or the other. Either it's we're going to start seeing some of this stuff, and it will verify it, or we won't, and it just means we're a little bit ahead of schedule. But I'm excited about what's coming. It's going to be scary.
We got breaking news coming in right now. We're trying to confirm this. They say the internet was completely shut down in Iran just now.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's what a couple of members are saying. I'll dig into that to see, but they're saying it just happened just now.
Well, that's like Puerto Rico going totally dark. Totally. When we were worried about Mark Z and you had said, oh, no, he's in Miami or whatever. Going back to something else, have y'all ever heard of that they relate 200 fallen angels as the broken arrows? I'm fixing to go down that and figure that out. A friend of mine has just sent that to me. And so, yeah, it's another route to go. There's a bunch of routes to go and all that stuff, isn't it? Lord have mercy. That's like all the new age stuff with religion and stuff going on, and how people think. And I say, you know what? I don't think my God is that complicated. I'm going to just roll with it and use my gut. And I want to listen to all of it, though. I want to listen to it and understand it. Now, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to that stuff. So I don't have a lot to say about the new age stuff, but man, I like listening to it.
Well, here we go. I just got it. It's happening. It's talking about it. Looks like here on the internet, talking about internet of Iran shuts down. They've been doing it since 2020, from what I can see in the reports here. Yeah, it looks like that's in fact what's happening from the cybersecurity intelligence. I'll try to get something substantial and I'll put it on Patriot Shoot. If I can find it.
Yeah. Well, I think we just need to keep our heads on a swivel and stay grounded and calm. And Warren, you talk about helping people find ways to heal themselves. Just raise the vibration. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that to be flippant, but we can be just as impactful and just as engaging by just smiling at somebody, smiling at a stranger, giving a bottle of water out, just holding the door for somebody. Just do something that raises the vibration of the planet. And if we all do that together, then we're going to get to where we're going way faster. My point of view.
I feel that way. I feel like I'm pretty happy. I stay up. My job has been to keep people up because everybody knows, man, we were a mess in talk time when it first started. And, it was a mess, and I was like, okay, I'd kind of just everybody they got to get it off their chest. Let's do this. So we kind of, let it just go on, and it's not our job to control anything, but just getting vibrations up and getting their vibrations up. And then that was addictive, So I said, man, I could have done that a lot faster. So I said, I need to work on myself, and, but I think for the most part, as Amelia said, she's looking for 7 and 8s, that are on a scale as happiness and stuff. I said, I'm just going to do it. So I signed up to do that, and I'm going to go get happy.
Well, it is confirmed. Mexico just got hit with a 7.5 on the Richter scale earthquake just now. That's
a big one.
It's today.
Oh, that's crazy right there. So
yesterday, 6.9 hit Taiwan. 2 days in a row, Mexico's gotten hit with a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. 2 days in a row.
Well, that's crazy.
Well, they were always talking about the Three Gorges Dam and was going to be hit by something like that. And then there was going to be, look for Bitcoin to go to hell in a handbasket. And then we'd start hearing about Pelosi, and they are entertaining. A year and a half ago, they were talking about Trump as Speaker of the House or whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? That's going back around. And supposedly, I don't know, Scott might know that. But I'm hearing something about Patrick Byrd was supposed to be leaking that
It just
stuff.
got hit again with another earthquake in Mexico, 7.5. They just Alice just sent me the alert. They just got just now another one. Wow. What I say the ground was going to shake?
Right. Well, all reference has always been that disaster in September, disaster in September. And then you go back to all the dates. Like I saw a thing the other day and they were talking about all the things that like TV shows, like there was some like Third Rock from the Sun and the Big Bang Theory and like the movie Volcano and Julia and Deep Impact. They were all about September. And I got a list of like 35 of them right here that were supposedly all talking about, let's say movie 23. Jim Carrey mentions the date September 23rd as the day that hell arrives. Sleepy Hollow on TV was September 23rd. A new dimension is opened. Ghostbusters, The Evil is released September 23rd. This is the end. Seth Rogen, paparazzi video recorder says date 9/23, the rapture happens. Movie Panic hits the East Coast 9/23. Movie Labyrinth Evil consumes the world at 9/23. Plane crashes on a remote island on September 22nd. Movie Castaway starring Tom Hanks, driver's license of dead pilot says 9/23. Taco Bell commercial escaping a concentration camp at 9/23. Just goes on and on and on. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what I've been hearing too about real freaking life. That's kind of crazy.
I think it's like I said, I think it's a week to remember.
I do too. I'm all about it.
I'm remembering for the last 2 years so far for me.
Right.
It's funny because the movie this is the end with.
I'm rewatching that, by the way. I was going to. I hadn't got a chance. I wanted to watch it again because there's a lot of correlation.
It kept popping up yesterday, right? And it's the weirdest thing that you say that because like every streaming, thing that I would click on, it was like the top. Like that's weird, but.
By the way, Brother Stew, if you haven't seen that, it's on Netflix. Check it out.
I watched it last night. That is maybe one of the most uplifting / real kind of pulls the curtain back on what real faith is and what true faith is.
That's
and
right.
it's he was a Catholic priest, but it's not about Catholicism. The movie isn't, in my opinion. It's about it's about a true relationship with God and our Creator. And it was I watched it last night. It was very very
Brother
powerful.
Stew.
Brother Stew. Brother Stew.
Father Stew. Father Stew.
Yeah, Father. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Stars Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson. Pretty much anything in Mel Gibson in it right now that's released in the last year or two, I've been watching. So.
Hey, I will tell you in the first scene, I'm not going to give you spoilers, but there was one part in the beginning where I saw Mel Gibson on the screen, and it didn't look like him. It didn't look like him, and it freaked me out. I was like, man, come on, they ain't doing this to Mel. And it turned out it was him. It was just they had to make him look a certain way, but it was just his eye. It was something that was way off. But it is what it is. Movies.
So I think these names are fixing to come out right now. These names of people like the Les Wexner. I think all of these people that are not necessarily Obama and Biden and the Biden family. I think the newbies or the people that are not awake yet, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I think that we're going to go back through Pizzagate again. I think we're going to go back down those things. They're going to start hearing about crazy things, but be listening to things like the Galactic Federation and Earth Alliance and stuff. I think all those things we're fixing to go through here in the next little bit. Everybody's going to be like, well, what? Really? George News is still freaking around? I think people don't even know that stuff.
Yep.
How are these hurricanes that we had going on? Are they doing anything? Because I'm looking for worldwide weather events to just be crazy. Do we have those things coming on?
Mm-hmm.
How do I watch that? Do I just go to
which part? Which one? What do you want to see?
I don't even remember the names of it.
Anything with weather? Is that what you want to see? Weather? Like weather.com?
We know that Starlink is now active, and we know that's.
Hurricane Fiona is now moving off.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You want to run this shit. I'm looking for absolute global freaking control of the internet. I think their time for panicking is over. They had their chance. They didn't give up and surrender during the speech the other day or rally, and they cooked their goose, and that's all she wrote.
Look at the path. That's the path that says supposedly it's going to take. But here, could that cause massive flooding in D.C.?
Possibly. Man, they're talking about tsunami warnings now off of the coast of Mexico because of the earthquakes.
Mm-hmm. And this is in Puerto Rico currently, supposedly with the flooding. This was on the 18th. What's happening there? Thank you, brother. Brother just sent me something in the chat. See if I can find it, brother.
Man, it's new stuff is just coming out every second. It's freaking
crazy, man. I can't keep up with all this. Hang on. Here's another one, dude. This looks good. Thanks, brother. All right. Hurricane and tropical cyclones. That's the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, cyclones rotate the opposite direction. It's kind of weird.
Would you look at that?
Huh.
Is that El Nino?
Okay.
Boots put in the influencer room power cuts to plunge South Africa into darkness.
Yeah, we were showing that right at the beginning of the show. It's part of it, though, isn't it? I mean, everything's got to go somewhat dark, and we got to stay in our homes, and well, that's where they want us, right? The more or less make sure there's not as many, reduce the casualties as possible, because there is going to be casualties.
She also put in here that the Phoenix Police Department would like to make you aware of training being conducted by the U.S. Army. I guess right in there, training times and locations should have minimal impact, but they're preparing us for this stuff. And there are people on the ground, I'm hearing in talk time, that, they're seeing military action. Everybody's seeing all these planes go everywhere, and they're keeping up with it like you do, Chaz. They're in there on that stuff all day, freaking every day. It's freaking crazy. I love it.
Good. Speaking of planes, that brings up a good segue. Let's see what's going on up in this camp real quick.
Well, and just all of the mass advertisements for like crisis actors on the 24th, 23rd, and 24th. Yeah. I mean, they're literally all over the country. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah. So my thoughts, something I've always been concerned about is letting people know, hey, have this, have that, we're going to be needing. There's going to be a time where the supermarkets are going to be empty and this and that. But please know, I think that just like they're turning the electricity off and turning it back on, the internet the same way, I believe that we are going to have a big time shortage of bad food. And I do not think we're going to have a shortage of good food. And I think this is how They are changing our food over during this time. I believe in my heart that everything is changing. Back in the day, I'd say a year and a half ago, everybody was worried about the chemtrails and all that stuff. I think at some point they have changed that. I'm considering, and I'm assuming, and I feel in my gut that they have changed all that, and they are sending out hydroxychloroquine and iron out of those things. I think they are reconditioning the earth. I think that good food has been on ice sitting in containers, and it's coming to us. And they're getting rid of the bad stuff and, putting the good stuff into play. And that's what I'm staying with. So that's my thoughts. I think these 87,000 freaking IRS agents, all trained and everything, are going to be really bringing out Nasara Gasara, and they're going to be people actually protecting us. There's going to be people that can't get to a center, and they're going to help you, but they're also going to. We always were told if you need protection going home, they're going to have it. They're going to have people ready for that stuff, and that's what I think is fixing to happen.
Seychelles talking about the red heifers delivered from Texas to Israel for the sacrifice. I actually saw an article about that this weekend, but they arrived there this morning for sacrifice in the new temple.
I'm checking out the air traffic over London right now.
What's going on with the railroads? Do we know what's going on there yet? Did they get that all squared away? Was that just a false flag? Something to get us looking over here instead over there, or what? Because I don't know. I need to keep up with everything.
I mean, I heard that they did not take the agreement, but then I didn't hear anything else after that.
I haven't heard anything else from it since that they denied the agreement or the tentative, whatever they call it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, no matter what, I always heard that the Queen goes down the final marker, and then we should expect Julian Assange on the scene soon. I'm expecting for Julian Assange to be right out here in the middle of stuff.
Nurse to Recover is saying that they're back on strike, and over there is what I'm assuming she's saying. They held off until the end of the funeral, and then all their rail workers went back on strike.
Hey, brother, or Alice, if you're listening and can hear me, if y'all have anything on that for us to know on the strike, the current where we're at right now, please let me know. Back on strike again is what they're saying in the chats. They're saying Union Pacific updated later today. They say I work on maintenance, and we are fighting for an increase in the per diem of meals and lodging. I work 8 days on the road with the railroad.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Ode Gold 60. Appreciate that.
So we're also supposed to have the funeral, and then I think that Prince Andrew, something's going to go be crazy about Prince Andrew. And if it is true that 11.3 is going to be the final, the end, then we're going to start taking those guys out. But that Prince Charles, we might see that we think he's king or whatever, or he goes through some kind of ceremony. I don't know what's going to happen. But, right as of now, I don't think we've seen him in any attire, and he's just been up there talking like some regular cat, And so if he might be the final, but who knows? I mean, I don't even know if that's true about 11.3. I've been told that. I don't even know who to ask, about stuff like that. I'm just taking the information everybody's giving us. Evergrande and BlackRock. Boom. They're fixing to be history. If they're not already,
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Did you tell everybody that Derek Johnson was coming on the 25th?
Yeah, I said, he had texted me too. He said, yeah, I'm a definite. And then you had texted me because y'all talked, and I guess he sent me a message afterwards. Let's see, what about the 24th? Have we established if that's going to happen or not?
right now we're going to count on the 25th, and then depending on what's going on, we will. We're considering some other things. But right now,
Anybody else confirmed? I'm sorry.
what?
Has anybody else confirmed also on the 25th?
Well, right now, Charlie, Scott, Juan, Derek Johnson, I believe Mark Z. Mark Z said, let me know. I mean, we were just started knowing about this Thursday or Friday, so it's, whatever. So Mark Z said, let me know when it's a concrete time and all that stuff. And now I've got a concrete time, so I'll text him in a little bit, or you can, whatever, say that. I talked to Amelia Love. She's planning on being there. I talked to John Baxter. I hope he's planning on it. And a few people that I really would like to happen to come. But of course, these schedules are crazy because everybody's on the road. Everybody's on the road. And just so everybody knows, I'm real careful about watching my back and seeing what's going on around me, and kind of something that Dallas has always talked about. I like to watch my surroundings, but I'm living my life, and there might be a time if I don't have to go do this or have to go do that, then I might not do it if it's a long ways away. But in my gut, I'm needing to go to these rallies. I'm needing to make these contacts, and I'm needing to do that. So I'm doing those things. And I'm just watching myself. And with, I feel like the person that I know the best that knows this plan, that I don't know everything he knows, but it's Charlie. And Charlie called and said, hey, I'm coming to Nashville. And I said, okay, well, here we go. Well, I feel comfortable with other people coming to Nashville. So I'm living my life. I think that we're going to be in good shape here pretty soon, and I'm counting on it. And I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to watch myself.
We'll let everybody know, I guess, about how they can get tickets. I know that everyone's asking in the chats. We'll have that. Hopefully, I would say within the next day or so, we'll be able to announce if in terms of ticket sales and everything else. But it will be in the Nashville, Tennessee area. And we'll rock and roll from there.
Yeah, it might be a different place than last time, but we will be giving that information out a couple of days before the event. But if anyone, we're going to get that together, and if you're in the Franklin area, Cool Springs area, Nashville area, you're going to be okay. And as far as coming and having a place to stay, but Alice is going to be working on that. Why don't before everybody does this, why don't we let Alice do a little searching and stuff and find one place? I'd love for everybody to be able to be kind of in the same vicinity, And it was cool because I went over to where we had the last rally, and then they said, hey, we're 50 of us are going to be at the Cracker Barrel. So I got to go over there and hug on everybody and say hello, and it was good stuff. And it was just killer and everybody loved it. It was just great. So, and a lot of people are asking about doing it live. I know that there were some tech things going on last night, but it's something we need to see what we can do about that. I know how difficult that is. Well, no, I don't know how difficult that is, but I just keep telling them that's a Chaz thing. I'll ask him and we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, it'll be depending on everything going on, and we'll figure that out.
Well, really, I shouldn't even said that right here on live. I think I'm a freaking knucklehead. But anyway, I just put something on you, didn't I? That is not my intentions. Dang, I suck.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. We just got to make sure the area has good internet. So
it's not my talk time.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's fine. Final words, because we'll probably start wrapping this up in like 2 minutes.
Just excited. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, everyone. It's been an amazing day so far, and can't wait to hang out and talk more, and hopefully get to see everybody in October. That would be super cool. Hasn't been God's timing for me the last couple ones, but hopefully this will be the new timing and the right timing.
Yeah.
But
and for us to meet, I ain't met you yet. Warren's done met you. I hadn't met you.
that is a true statement. I've met more people inside of PPN than outside, but I've never met Chaz in person. So again,
they only let me out on a good behavior, by the way. So
thanks for the birthday wishes, continued prayers, and thanks everybody. Thanks Warren. Thanks.
Merry birthday to you. My last thing
birthday,
is,
man. Go get you a drink, relax.
What?
I told him, I said, go get you a drink and just chill.
Bet you can do whatever you want to. It's your birthday, man. They don't like it. Tell them shut up.
Final words, Warren. Anything you want to add before we shut it down?
What I'm doing is I am putting all my notes every day on Patriot Shoot, and that's the best place I can put stuff. I don't know anywhere else to put them, and it looks like that's going to be the number one place I'm going, and I'm going to be in Talk Time. That's where I'm going to stay glued to because it's where I'm getting my best information. So, adios, nachos.
Appreciate you guys. God bless y'all. Thank you. See y'all. Bye. All right, guys. Another one in the box. Right after this broadcast, if you're not in Talk Time, I would suggest that you go there. Everybody's going to be going to Talk Time to kind of do a deep dive on some of the things we talked about here in the show. All you got to do is go to patriotshoot.com. Mods, if you can hear me, if you want to post a workaround link, we also have a link to be able to work around Google and things like that. I think if it's the Citizen Broadcast Network.com, I think we'll have some mods post that so everybody can go there and just click on Patriot Shoot that way. That's a work around so with the censorship because they don't slow us down at all. God bless the Republic of the United States of America, and God bless you, Patriots. Without you folks, there is no America. Take care.
What is your name, and why did you want to come visit Anti-Aging Vet?
Leon Campbell. I come here because the medical profession was in a position with my heart to where there was nothing else to be done. My lungs were filling up because my problem is I have a leaking valve in my heart. And they had told me medically that my age was a hindrance for them to do open heart surgery. And I wouldn't make it off the operating table. And also, if they went through the veins, I have bad kidneys, which was cause for the medical profession leaving me on a product called Metformin too long. It's at 2.9. And if they were to go in through my veins to fix the problem, the dye would put me into dialysis for my kidneys. And then to get a second opinion, I went to another doctor other than the VA, and he wouldn't. He's a noted heart surgeon, and he would not recommend that I have either one, especially the heart surgery, which he would do or his team would do. So I was just left with no hope on heart medicine and on diuretics because of my heart leaking went into my lungs, and my lungs would fill up and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even carry on a conversation whenever I come here really without stopping and breathing. And now I'm off of water pills or diuretic for me. I have my ankles, as you can see, are not swollen. And I saw myself from that means my heart, if it's still leaking, until I'm going to get a test this month again to make sure. But I could breathe normal, I sleep normal, I have no swelling, and I'm all the way off of the water pills now. And that's so I know that without any doubt that this procedure you have here has I had no reason to go on. that was the end. It told me that nothing could be done. But something could be done. It's been done here. And with good people, and I enjoy coming here. The people have been very nice.